I'm Michael Che.
And I'm Colin Jost, and we've got a little secret. Actually, it's a pretty big secret.
Well, now you gotta give the people something.
No, I'm not saying a word.
Oh, then people won't know to tune in. Come on, tell them a little bit.
Like how we're hosting a live comedy event streaming only on Peacock September 12th.
Exactly.
Or how it's called New York After Dark, and it's a comedy show that only features drop-in comics.
Boom, you nailing it, dude.
Michael Che's phone number's...
Whoa, hey.
New York After Dark, some kind of live comedy thing. September 12th, only on Peacock.
You love it.
What are we going to do for this week's episode?
We could check to see if we got another letter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Hold on. Let me check my email, dudes.
What?
Adam.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Guys, we got a letter. Yes.
What operating system is that, dude?
Oh, AOL 2.1 on Windows 95. Why? Is there something better?
That's right. What the
Maybe I just want to fly, want to live, don't want to die. Maybe I just want to breathe. Maybe I just don't believe. Maybe you're the same as me. We see things they'll never see. You and I are going to live forever. This is The Grolic Saves the World. My name is Adam Caton Holland.
I'm Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is a comedy podcast about bettering your world. And yes, I did just read lyrics from my favorite Oasis song, Live Forever. And you guys are like, oh, well, I would have done the basic Wonderwall choice. Well, that's why you're you and I'm me. And I'm celebrating the fact this morning that a British supergroup Oasis has announced they're back together. They will be doing shows in the UK and Ireland in 2025. And Ben, Andrew, I have got to get your initial reactions.
I truly could not give less of a fuck.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So Andrew, Holier Than Thou. Wow. One of the fucking widely recognized best bands of the 90s. Doesn't matter to Andrew. He's too cool. What
couldn't
doom
name
metal,
a
blah,
single
blah,
song.
Blah. Okay. Thought that'd be your take. Ben, your turn.
Rarely am I with Andrew on a lot. I think that's, but the amount of fucks given is quite low. Similar to a pillow I've been sleeping on for years, the amount of fucks I have are flat, and I have to repeatedly fold it just to be able to hold my head up. On the number of fucks I have for Oasis coming back. I think those two are two of the most insufferable human beings on planet Earth.
Oh, and I do not go for their personalities, Ben.
And I thought their music was incredibly overrated. But that's just me. I'm just a human being with good music.
This is good news for office karaoke nights the world over, though, right? This is going to be just a shot in the arm.
Oh, buddy, you were speeding and you slammed headfirst into a Wonderwall because neither of us give a shit about that fucking man.
Are you, Adam,
trying to figure out how to get there? Yes.
Yeah. Are you trying to figure out a way to get over there?
100%.
I can't wait to see the photos of you and Rory just cozied up together. Oh, maybe producer Ronnie D.
Producer Ron has been excited about this.
This podcast is kind of a vision board for me. That's how I treat it. And so I'm putting this out there. I'm hoping we have some sort of insanely wealthy listener, maybe a finance bro who just doesn't give a fuck and will fly me over and buy me tickets for the price of me hanging out with them that night. And if that's what it takes, yes, I'll see you.
And hanging out has a big asterisk next to it.
Okay,
this is an indecent proposal. Adam is making an indecent proposal.
I will sleep with a listener. If Katie's cosigns, I'll sleep with a listener for a flight over and a Oasis concert experience in the UK. And so I'm just putting that out there.
What happens? What would you do if you discovered that Gallagher was the third of the Gallagher brothers, the comedian?
Amazing.
Gallagher.
He's the true wedge.
What a talented family.
Yeah. I'll extend an olive branch because I thought you guys would be haters because that's all you do, and I'm frankly tired of it.
Okay.
Oasis is my white whale that I've not seen. I've never seen them perform live. I'm really dying to see them. I'm the 90s MTV music video guy of the group. I want to see Oasis bad. Who have you not seen who's alive that you would like to see, that you'd like to tick off that list? Is there anybody?
Yeah, Bane, the Massachusetts hardcore band.
You
Bane.
never saw Bane live?
No.
Oh, wow.
We should be
Okay.
able to make that happen. Are they touring?
No, they're kind of in hiatus, shutdown mode. So I probably missed my chance, but maybe they'll pull an Oasis and reunite, which sadly happens with more and more
Bane
hardcore
didn't-
bands.
Are the
Bane-
brothers and Bane fighting? Are they infighting, the brothers? Brothers
They
Bane,
could
are they
be.
mad at each other?
The Brothers Bane.
The Brothers Bane. Wait, so Andrew, you didn't go to like This Is Hardcore or anything? I feel like they played that a little while ago, like not that long ago.
Mm-mm.
They
No, I've
played
never
one
seen
of those
them.
old hardcore.
I always
fests.
wanted to, but never got the chance.
Great live band.
I know.
I'd
I've
be
heard-
curious to see you there just because it gets super rowdy. People climbing all over each other.
I'll get shoved around. Trust me. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm like an upright vacuum cleaner. Someone left in the pit, just getting knocked over stiffly.
Yeah, an old one that doesn't recline easily.
Yeah.
Like if the top goes down, the bottom goes with it.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
They say Bane is the Oasis of Massachusetts hardcore. I've heard that said before.
I'm trying to think for myself. I mean, I saw Cat Stevens. That was a big one for me. I saw Mazzy Star. That was another.
It's who
big
you
one.
haven't seen, not a brag list of who you have seen.
Well, I've seen a lot of really great concerts because I have good music taste, and a lot of the bands that I would love to see. I think if I'll stick with Andrew on the old hardcore tip. I've never seen the band One King Down live. I would love to see that band. That album, Bloodlust Revenge, was one of my.
So, look, if there is a wealthy Grolix Patreon who lives in
Upstate
New
New York.
who lives in the Northeast and can put on a one-night hardcore show at a VFW hall in Beverly, Mass, Ben and I will be there.
And I want to see One King Down play Bloodlust Revenge front to back. That's all I care about. Play that album. Listen, I loved God Loves Man Kills. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it was the change in singer that threw me off.
I think it threw a lot of people. Ben's never seen One King Down, and Andrew's never seen Bane, and I've never heard of One King Down or Bane. And so we have that overlap.
Well, that means you'd want to see that show, right?
I'd go. I'm a hardcore dude.
And that's what
The way
people
you said that.
who are into hardcore
I'm a
say.
hardcore dude.
I'm a hardcore dude.
Wow. Yeah. I saw Tom Petty, and that was a big one for
I was just
me.
gonna say, man, I think Carl Hess invited me to see Tom Petty in Pasadena when we were filming season 3, and we had an early shoot the next morning, and I was like, I can't, and then he was dead like a month later, and I never
saw his
Tom
last
Petty.
show ever. Remember, because
Really?
he did 2 nights at the Hollywood Bowl, and then he added a third night last minute because we tried to get tickets, and then we got tickets to that, and then that proved to be his last show. That was the last night of that tour, and then he never played again.
It's why you got to go see him, man. I'm
Because
still
his
mad at
greedy
myself.
fans demanded a third
Ooh,
show,
I got
which
one.
overtaxed him.
I got one. I would love to see that. Because I saw Public Enemy as well, y'all. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well.
Great. Congrats.
Well, thank you. I've seen a lot of great legacy shows. You
Oh,
know,
is it
who I would-
hardcore band Shutterfist?
No, dude.
Shutterfist? Shutterfist?
Shutterfist. You guys don't like Shutterfist?
Shut up.
Shutterfist.
Just shut up, dude. I would love to see.
It sounds like a hardcore band.
The band. I would love to see the band. I would love to see Massive Attack. I've never seen them live. They're very. I think that would be an amazing show. Would be to see.
Okay, so now here's a little bit of overlap. I've heard of Massive Attack, and it'd probably be in the UK. So maybe we go together, Ben, and we cut down on expenses.
Ooh,
rooming expensive.
wait,
I see
one
Oasis.
more. Now
you
I'm
see
going.
Massive Attack.
So I've had tickets to see this band twice, and they've canceled twice, and this is another Grail band for me. And I had them one time in Mexico City, but then COVID happened, and we couldn't go.
Oh,
and then
Throttle Kids.
No. Dude,
These
stop
names.
it. And then the second time they were supposed to play here in Denver, but they canceled night of show would be Placebo. I would love to see Placebo.
Oh, yeah. I like Placebo.
Yeah, that would be a great show.
That'd be cool.
A friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend with weed is better. Remember that band? Nobody.
Oasis gets shit, but that's the lyric you're throwing my way? Sounds
It's
Placebo was
not
awesome.
the best lyric, but
Placebo was far better than Oasis was.
Well, you know what they say about placebo is they're kind of a cure-all.
Stop
Swish.
it. Stop it. I've seen The Cure, by the way. Anyway, let's.
The point is, somebody get me to Oasis. Book me to play in the UK or Ireland, concurrent in the city with an Oasis, and I will be there. I'll be there.
I'd love to see Def Leppard. I've never seen Def Leppard either. I would love to see Def
well,
Leppard.
go to a casino outside Albuquerque. You're going to get your opportunity, my friend.
Oh, Ronnie D with one hand waving around in the air.
Hard to
being
produce with
insensitive.
one arm, isn't it? It's harder to produce a podcast with one arm, but Ron pulls it off.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of foot pedals.
Yep.
He's got.
Speaking of producer Ron, it's probably time we unearth him because we have a letter this episode from a listener whose life needs saving. Last we heard from producer Ron, some orcas had sort of been playing with his pod.
Vengeful orcas.
Knocking it around. We didn't know where he was. We've been able to reestablish contact. They kind of batted him out of the water into a seaside dump. It's not even in Rift City. It's about 2 townships over down the coastline. He's in the municipal dump, and it's mostly scrap metal. And he's in his pod, sort of rolling around like Wayne Coyne at an outdoor festival, just clanging in the stuff. And he's still operational. We have established a signal. Producer Ron, are you there? Are you okay?
Hey, hi guys. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm feeling all right. I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I was sorry. We didn't see them bat you into off the cuff salvage yard. And that is so sad.
I mean, honestly, Ron, soak up the ability to just breathe the oxygen on land. We're going to get you back submerged underwater. Take advantage. I know it's probably dump air and it's not the highest quality, but breathe in what you can and enjoy being on land for a little bit. We'll get you back underwater.
I don't know if I want to go back under the water. I kind of like it. I've befriended a pit bull.
Well, yes, you do.
That's
so
the
that's
thing.
not even. Yeah, that's not even your
That's
choice.
not really
It's kind
your
of a-
choice. It's more
it's a
what the listeners need.
Safety issue,
Contract expires in 2034. All right, cool. I
Yeah,
can do it.
dude.
We can do
10
it. 10
years
more
and you're
years.
free,
I got
bud.
it.
10 more years and you're
Only
out,
10
dude.
more years to
Although we're
go.
going to try to re-sign you in 2032. I'm just going to warn you about that.
We'd love for you to end your career with our team.
What an odd
this team
way
is going to end my
to
career,
say
all right.
it, Andrew.
Ron
That's
just
such a
dissed
great-
us. That was nice, Ron. Ron, what
was it, Ron?
Ben, listen later. It'll be a jewel for you when you listen to the pod again about how you got dissed, and then
Yeah, I
you
missed it too.
can be mad at Ron in like 8 days.
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
what's
Let
the
it go.
letter
Yeah,
we got,
hi.
buddy?
All right, we have a letter. This one's kind of a fun and interesting one. It's vaguely.
Oh, Ron, we
I
don't pay
think
you to editorialize about the content of the letters. We just need you to read that, Ron.
Okay, a little context. This letter came in right after the vasectomy episode dropped. We received this one. This is also from a Patreon supporter. Also, a Patreon supporter named Chris B. But not the same Chris B from last week.
Before you go further about Chris B, it's another Chris B. It's a different Chris B. Adam, this did come on the heels of the vasectomy episode. How are you gacking now? Have you gacked?
Oh,
Does
yeah.
it hurt?
Do we have how much time do we have?
Have you gacked?
Bruh.
Just answer yes or no.
Yes.
And
yes.
is it painful?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
Great job.
Congratulations. That's great news. I'm
Painless
very happy
gack.
for
You see that, Andrew?
I'm
Can be
counting them.
done.
I'm counting
Can
them, and
be
the
done.
numbers are rising, dudes.
Are you counting them like a cartoon prisoner with hash marks on the wall? That'd be fun.
I put on
Next
the
to your
calendar.
bed.
Katie hasn't seen it. 3 months out, you're supposed to submit a sample. And so I wrote
Yeah.
on the date. She hasn't seen it because she hasn't probably flipped 3 months ahead. But it just says, come in mail. And then it says 20 times because you're supposed to come 20 times before then. So that's like the whole day on the calendar 3 months out from here. So we'll see. We'll see how she enjoys
You don't have to
Reacts.
do all 20 times in one day, though.
I'm saving it up.
I would love to see you attempt that and do serious nerve damage.
Now that is a Grawlix challenge.
That's a Grawlix
Yes.
challenge.
Who can come the most in one day?
You get 4 hours off. If you come 20 times in one day, you get 4 hours off.
Oh God, I
Once
can't
an
even-
hour.
That makes
Oh,
me nauseous to even think about attempting that.
Anyway, thank you for asking. I'm doing well. I'm healing up fine.
Heck yeah,
I'm doing all
gaggity
right.
yak. Don't talk back. Ron, let's go.
Stop.
All right.
What?
All right.
Stop.
Here's a letter. Again, as I said, this is from a Patreon supporter named Chris B, not the Chris B from last week. We have a lot of Chris B fans, a lot of Chris fans.
We know this.
I
Chris
think we are
B,
becoming the premier podcast for Chris's.
This
more
is
so than
huge.
Tyler's.
We've been a huge Tyler-based podcast for a while. It seems like Chris Army is really coming for GST dubs. You know what I mean? They seem to have found a home here. And
Chris is welcome here.
Yeah, that's your
Yep.
yard sign, right?
Yeah. In this house, we believe science is real. Chris B's send us letters.
All right, well, let's get to this one.
Welcome, Chris B, our second Chris B. Glad to
All
have
right, here's
you.
what Chris B has to say. He says, "Hey, fellas, let's get into it. I'm 43 and I never wanted to have kids, not remotely, not even a little bit. No, thank you. I've been with my wife of 7 years for about 10 years. She has 2 kids from a previous marriage that I've tried to raise to the best of my ability, and I am very, very happy with that setup. I can't have kids because of a medical issue, and this setup has been great. Recently, however, things that were supposed to happen with regularity did not. It turns out she's pregnant, which
Whoa.
caught both of us very off guard. Like I said, I'm 43, my wife is 42. For someone who never wanted his own children for various and multiple reasons, I'm having a hard time adjusting and making the switch. Basically going from this is the worst thing to I'm okay with it, and it's such an incredible mind fuck to get hit with this at 43 years old when my stepkids are in middle and high school. I'm genuinely stunned. I'm not unhappy about it, but I'm also not happy about it. How do you deal with something like this? Thanks for everything. Love the pod. You guys are the best.
And wait, Ron, you let us know there was a follow-up because I initially was like, well, wait a minute. If he can't have kids, is this somebody else's kid? He wrote and said it is 100% mine.
He sent a follow-up message saying, also, this is most definitely my kid. I've been off work for 10 weeks, separate issue, and she's been here taking care of me very well, it would appear, and we're about 9 weeks along at this point.
Okay, so there was he thought there was a medical issue, and yet somehow
he actually puts in it because it was a longer letter. He actually puts there was a 0.05% chance that he could get.
And this is why these fucking doctors piss me off so much. They
Adam.
think they're so smart and they know everything because they went to like 6 more years of school. Well, guess what? Chris B knocked his lady up. So what the fuck do you know now, Stanford?
Okay, Adam.
Okay.
has-
All right. Well, that's
The-
a good place to
the
take a
old
break. We're going to have to
Wesleyans.
cool him down. He's getting overheated.
Well-
These Ivies are overrated, and I'll tell you
So
that right
mad
now.
about
There's
not
no
getting into
difference
an Ivy League
between a
school.
New
Yeah,
England
I know
liberal
he
arts
wanted
school
an
and an
Ivy.
Ivy. There's no
I think we
difference.
can take it from here. It looks like some of the buzzards are circling above producer Ron, ready to take him back to off the cuff salvage yard. We are so sorry. They're going to fly down here and pick you up and fly you back. Bye, Ron. Bye. We'll see.
There he goes. Oh man, he does look like he's gotten a lot of sun. He does not. He needs to
Yeah,
get
it's
back in the
lobster red
pod.
in there.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. I hope they bring him back to the pod and not to one of the other salvage yards or dumps around Rift City. Gosh.
Yeah, that would be horrible. All right, we've got our marching orders, dudes, and I don't have any idea what to tell this guy, but fortunately, we have a little bit of time, so I think we should take a break, pay some bills, Here's the thing. If you're on Patreon, you don't have to listen to any ads right now. We'll just jump right into the episode of us helping Crispy. If you're not on Patreon, you got to hear some targeted ads. But I urge you to get on Patreon. It's $4 at the base level, and we've got all sorts of goodies. And I bet loyal listeners can tell I've turned around. I used to be anti-Patreon, but lately we've really been putting some good work into these Act 4s, and I'll say it, they're funnier than the podcast. So for $4 for a month, you get an Act 4 and all sorts of other goodies on Patreon. So join us on Patreon, and we'll be back after this break to help our second Chris B that we know of. We are back. Through the magic of podcasting, time has elapsed, and we are ready to help Chris B. This is the official podcast for Chris's. If you're a wayward Chris and you're out there and you need a home, why don't you come over to Grolic Saves the World? We got a spare bed for you and a towel and a fresh shower. You guys got any advice for Chris B?
It's kind of a halfway house.
Wouldn't be a shower and a fresh towel. It'd be a fresh towel and a shower.
A fresh towel. The shower's pretty stale. We've been running the water for a while.
A lot of hard water. We've got a lot of limestone.
The Grolic's home for wayward Crispies.
Yep.
We'll get you back on your feet, and you're going to leave better than you came in. That's the Grolic's guarantee.
As people who listen to this podcast, if you're a new listener or if you're just starting to listen now, you know that when advice comes in, a letter comes in, this immediately sets off competitive advice. And that means that we will be competing to give the best advice. And then at the end, we will crown a winner that gave the best advice. Of course, the voting on who gave the best advice will also come from us. So this is a near perfect process. You
cannot vote for yourself. In the event of a tie, producer Ron will be summoned and he will declare a winner. This is a flawless system.
And the last winner always goes last giving advice. Of course, if you were listening to the last episode, I won because I...
Hey, Ben, and Ben, congratulations on that win. Very often we do not get to say congrats to you for the previous win because we're so busy with the subject at hand. But I'd like to say 1 week later, congrats to you. And
Thank you.
In the light of day, I'd like to say, yeah, good for you, man.
Thank you. I felt like I dug
well deserved,
and I cared just a little more than you guys did.
And that's what the results said. And so here we are.
And so I'm up 3, Adam has 2, and Andrew has 3 is the total right now because we are retroactively going back to the advice that I gave to Katie.
Stop that. You have to stop. This is you are unwell. You are unwell.
Think that if you remember that, everybody congratulated me on my insight. Even producer Ron said, wow, that's brilliant.
What's really sad is how well you remember that. As if like very rarely does anyone give you any sort of compliment about, being perceptive. Or
producer Ron, I very vividly remember this because he was staying over at my house that night.
He was having a rough go. He was having a rough go.
Well, he also had said like what you did that day today was important, and I want to just sleep by you tonight. And so he stayed the night. And I remember him saying that was so insightful and powerful. And
he curled up at the foot of your bed.
And he said, we should be judging these. I said, that's not why I do it. I don't do it to win some contest. I do it because I care.
What did you serve producer Ron for breakfast the next morning out of curiosity? How'd you take care of him the following day?
Captain Crunch.
Okay, well, so we've got to get to the advice.
Because Ron's not allowed to have it at home. So
Captain
it's a treat.
Crunch.
It's part of a fun overnight at Ben's.
Yeah.
Is to get to have the
it's
sugar
also
cereal.
part of a balanced, healthy breakfast.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't shill for Captain Crunch again. Okay, so Ben will be going last. I believe you said in the arbitrary system that Andrew's going first, and I'm cool with that, so I accept. Andrew,
well, the only reason I disagree with that is that Andrew went first the last time, and because of that, he won. So that's up to you, Adam. Really,
I'd like Andrew to go first because I haven't yet come up with any advice for Crispy, and I'd like some time to think.
I'd be willing to even go first. I don't give a fuck.
Stop it! Don't get cocky with your win.
I'm cocky. I can't help it.
You're very cocky. No one likes you.
It's my
you're
lisp,
aggressive.
dude. I keep telling you, my lisp messed that one up.
I need a doctor's note, even though I hate doctors.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
A doctor's note for a lisp. All right, fine. I'll tolerate it. Guys, we can't make fun of Ben anymore. He's
This
got
checks
this
out.
fucking doctor's note. Half his tongue is glued to the roof of his mouth. God damn it.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so it sounds like the question, because this was a long letter, if something completely out of left field and nearly impossible happens and it will completely upend your life, but also potentially make it better, how do you deal with that? Is the question. And then in Chris B's specific case, it is the unexpected pregnancy in his mid-40s. Well, that is what a curveball. What a curveball. You never know. I mean, look at the Bible. They weren't expecting a baby, and they got a baby.
Just stop there. That's Andrew's advice. That's it.
Go get a
How the
Bible
fuck-
and
this is the
read
problem
it.
with having somebody go first, because they take
They
the right
nail
answer.
it. Yeah.
Look at the Bible.
The good book has all the answers, but I
And-
seem
and-
to remember a couple in that book that weren't expecting a pregnancy either, and they got one. Okay.
Well, but the thing is, you have to know that Andrew's Bible is carved out and there's a gun in there. And so Andrew, when he says, look at the Bible, it's a little bit different meaning.
but the gun is chocolate, so when I take it out suddenly and you gasp, I just bite off the end of it,
Oh.
and I just wanted a snack.
Cool twist.
No, I think that with Chris B, the baby's not here yet. I can't speak for Adam and Ben, but I know with my own child and that pregnancy, it was unplanned. We had talked about having a baby, but it was something that was going to happen in the future. And then suddenly it did not happen in the future because just like with Chris B, something with an incredibly small chance of happening happened. And so we ended up getting pregnant, and I absolutely panicked. And I was like, oh my God, this is not the time I want to be having a kid. This is not. And I had that same mix of emotions, like I was excited, but I was also kind of not dreading it, but I had a lot of apprehension about it because it kind of came absolutely out of left field at this random time. And I just tried to concentrate on the positives of it. And then once my daughter was born, instantly it was the best thing that had ever happened to me.
How old were you again, Andrew?
So happy.
when your
70
kiddo was born.
58.
60.
50 is 2000,
No.
like 5, 6. So he's
No, it was later
60.
than that. 'Cause no, Milo's older. So it's 2011.
so,
10.
Okay,
When was
2010.
You're both
16?
so stupid. Shut the fuck up.
When was Juke born? 2009, 2010.
2009.
Okay, so he was 50. So he's 59.
50s, 51,
Fuck you both.
59.
No, I was 32, I believe.
Okay.
And
Really?
yeah.
In dog years?
That would mean I was like a toddler, dude.
Whatever. It felt funny in the moment.
All right. Go ahead.
Whatever. It felt funny in the moment. That's
Oh, you need me to make sense?
That's
Okay.
the best
Well, that's a different
reply.
pod.
Whatever. It felt funny in the moment. Okay. You can't argue with it. I like it.
Right.
No.
So once she was born, boom, instantly best thing that ever happened to me. So the 9 months of apprehension and uncertainty, those get washed away instantly. And I think, if you stay the course and you focus on the positives and the excitement to come, I think you will be paid. You'll be paid off once this child is born. And here's the other thing: is you having a kid in your 40s. That's great. What the fuck else were you going to do with your time? You got all of your wild time of your 20s and 30s to do whatever. I guess you were being a stepdad, but still, you could, you were still had some relative freedom. Go ahead, boom, parent mode in your 40s. That sounds great to me. That sounds like a great time to start parenting. So appreciate the positives of it, and I guess stay the course would be my advice. Adam?
Typical Hallmark platitudes from the Orvidal. It's wild. We let him on this podcast.
Well, it's only $1 billion greeting card company. They can't be doing everything wrong.
Oh, wow.
They've got
Valid
their own
point.
TV channel. I guess they can't be doing everything wrong.
Valid point.
I mean, have you watched Hallmark? They are doing everything wrong. Like, it's not.
Stop. I'm pitching them tomorrow. Stop. Don't ruin this.
Andrew, you were 32. Jupe is now 14? 15.
Mhm.
So you are much younger than I thought. Adam, did you know this?
I am shocked. I'm shocked.
I mean, it's blown. I'm just blown away. It's like a reverse Benjamin Button thing that's happening here.
I know.
You know? It's-
Wait, so he just gets older?
yeah. As
Like
he
a
gets
regular
younger.
So that's
person?
like life.
Like a regular aging process.
No.
Gotcha.
It's like as he's been older when he was younger, I think.
Right.
It's like progeria. And then now
Okay.
I think he looks better.
For someone who's quit doing edibles, you've certainly reserved the mindset. Jesus fucking Christ.
No, that part that just happened is not marijuana. That's because I'm not smart.
Oh.
That's the problem. So
That
All right,
part
I'll
that
take a
just
crack
that
happened.
at
part
this.
is because I'm
Okay,
not
take a
intelligent.
swing. Take a swing.
I am someone who's parenting very young children in their 40s. I'm 44. I have a 3-year-old. So what? I was 41 when he was born. Whew, that's some good quick math. And I know what this is. And like, you weren't expecting this, and that fucking sucks. And a lot of this is hard. Andrew, I love you, but I feel like it's all rose-colored lenses of nostalgia. And then the kid was born, and everything was perfect forever. Give me a fucking break.
I've
It's
watched
hard.
the nightmare that your child has taken you for a ride on, Andrew. You've been miserable for
No, it's way more
just
good
kidding.
than bad, but it's like fucking hard. Babies are hard. It's scary. You're up a lot of nights. Everything sleeping's difficult. You're just frazzled. I feel like Andrew's a little bit farther away from that. Doesn't remember it. So I'm not gonna just fucking lie to you like Andrew is, Chris B. I'm gonna tell you this is gonna be hard, and you are in for it. But I will say this. You have been a parent to a middle school kid and a high school kid, so you already have some parenting experience, and you're going to be better than most parents for that. What you haven't done is newborn, toddler stuff. And I think a cool part of parenting that makes me proud of being a parent, besides that I love these kids and it's wild, is like unlocking new parts of yourself that you've never done before, never felt before. And I think you've already felt this love for these kids that you've been raising, but you've never, rocked a baby to sleep after you've gotten 2 hours of sleep and you're up all night. And it's like, it sounds horrible, but then there's this like, oh my God, like I brought this thing into this world. I'm responsible for this kid. And it just unlocks new parts of yourself that you never knew that you had. So as much as you're afraid of this and didn't expect this, embrace the growth. You're about to find a new version of you that is really amazing, and you'll be able to see what you're capable of in a way you haven't before. And I think that is a way to be like, okay, well, I can look forward to this. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be easy, but it is something new. And like, as a human being, it's cool to evolve and see what else you're capable of. And then this is not the advice, and I'm not trying to hog it. You also have a middle schooler and a high schooler. Those are built-in babysitters, my dude. So you have a fucking cheat code. You have more nights out with your lady. You've got sitters in the house. That rules. I would kill for that. So if you're going to be in this position, man.
You could adopt. You could adopt a high schooler right now, Adam.
Oh, shit. You're right.
Don't adopt.
You don't think that there's
fucking
some high
right.
schoolers in foster care that could use?
I live right
home?
next to a high school. I could just go out there and ask kids.
Yeah, don't.
Okay. Well,
Adam,
Chris,
don't do
good
that,
on you.
'cause-
I'm going to join you in this club soon, my dude. I'll be joining you in this club soon.
Don't do that. This podcast has to continue, and I have a feeling that
Why?
it won't.
Like, I did rent a kid, and you guys got on my back. But now Andrew comes and sees.
I'm not saying anything about renting a kid. I'm saying legally adopt a high schooler in need of a home. There's
Right,
plenty
why
of them
rent
out
when
there.
you can buy? Why rent when you can buy?
Exactly.
It's not buying a child.
It's a better
Adam.
investment.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so that's mine. That's mine. Embrace the
Adam.
growth. Embrace the growth of what you're about to become. Built-in babysitters, and I'm going to join you in that pool real soon.
Adam, you were 39 when Malcolm was born.
I don't know. It's all fucking blurred.
39, right?
Malcolm's 5. He'll be, and I'm 44. So yeah, but I think I was 38 because of the way our birthdays line up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And
38.
then Andrew, 32. Okay. Yeah. So
All
what
right.
you
Ben, your turn.
Yeah, what you have here is sort of the Three Bears again kind of a thing. Andrew was 31, 32-ish when he found out that he was going to be a dad. Adam was 38 or 39. I was 25. And so I represent the too young demographic and certainly too immature
I love
at
that
that
rapper.
time.
I love Too Young.
Too
Too young was like
problematic,
changed
though.
the game.
Problematic.
Yeah, it was problematic.
To
I
hear
mean,
a
like,
16-year-old
White Whale concerts, Too Young is up there.
To
I've
hear
not
a
seen Too Young live.
16-year-old talk about that stuff was unsettling.
he was
Yes.
too young to be talking about it.
For sure. Social Security benefits, death plans.
He was already writing out his will.
It was scary. And then for how it played out, prescient, really prescient.
All right. I'm just going to go all in on this. Chris, I love you. I'm representing perhaps a little bit of the devil's advocate point of view on this one. Perhaps I want you to know that we support you in any decision that you make. You do not have to have this child. Just because there was a slim chance that this would happen, really think about what it is that you're doing. And I think this is a problem that happens with children sometimes, is people glorify the experience because we're speaking from the point of view of we can't go back. Like, I would never trade my son in a million friggin' years. But my ex-wife did get pregnant once later on, and I am so thankful that she did not go to term with that. She ended up having a miscarriage, and when she did, we high-fived.
Yeah. That's real, man.
It was difficult for her because it was uncomfortable and obviously painful, but after that point, we were happy. And I will say that the 40s and 50s, having that time for yourselves to re-explore your relationship with your partner can be equally as fruitful and as beneficial as having another child in your life. Having that time to travel at this age when you're comfortable with yourself, when you're more financially comfortable.
Wow.
I feel bad here saying that. I do, and I wonder if Chris
so your
is gonna...
advice is terminate the pregnancy so you can go to Sydney.
No, I'm saying there are risks that come with both decisions. And I think sometimes we get caught up in the illusion, as you alluded to, Adam, of what parenting is. And the reality is...
I was just talking about how Andrew lies a lot.
It's not.
Yeah.
I think that you...
The reality is, and you and your partner know this, and Chris, you alluded to health issues you've been dealing with yourself personally. Now add on top of this a child, a brand new child. It is okay if you decide you don't want to do this. And I know this is incredibly uncomfortable to say, but I also think what we're here to do is to present
Depending on which state Chris B is in, I don't think he legally can in certain capacities.
I have a feeling.
Even
That's the
listening to this
America we're living in.
podcast is illegal now.
And I want to say that my relationship with my son and the experiences of being a dad, without a doubt, have changed my life drastically and are incredibly important to me. But I don't know how I would feel at this age because it's a different time. And having a kid graduate when I'm 60 years old.
You're a cool Dave Letterman dad. That's what I call them. Dave Letterman dads.
Yeah. I'm not saying, listen, there are benefits to both. I'm presenting a little bit of the devil's advocate here. I root for you either direction that you and your partner choose, because I think there is meaning and beauty to be found in either direction you choose.
I'm just so sick of Ben speaking out of both sides of his mouth.
You want me to just talk on a one side for now?
Pick a side of your mouth.
Yeah, well, I'll talk on this side. But
Thank you. How hard is that?
You know what it does?
That's how he got the list. He's trying to talk out of both sides at once.
You sound crystal clear.
Okay, so Ben's
eject the game.
Ben's advice is
eject the game. Blow out the cartridge a little bit.
Push reset on the Nintendo. Got it.
Why is everybody mad at me?
I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not mad at you
I'm
at all.
not mad at you, but I don't think he framed the question as should we keep the baby or not.
Yeah, we are a pro-choice podcast, but
No. That is not what advice is. Like, advice is, what do you do in this situation? How do you handle it? You know, given what we know about Crispy, this letter was sent to us a little bit ago, so the situation likely has changed. This advice may not necessarily apply to Chris right now, but this is for everyone, that you do have a choice.
I see where you're coming from. Okay.
people should always recognize they have a choice.
And that is a real, honest thing. Think about that kid. Think about, is your health going to hold out that amount of time and give this child that best opportunity? That is something people need to think about with parenting. And I know it's harsh, but it is a real message that people have to think about with kids.
I have no idea what the specifics are of Crispy's health situation.
I don't know either. That's why
I think the kids run the gamut. Some kids are hard. Some babies are tough. Some babies are not that tough.
It's a real roll of the dice.
Yeah, sure. Sleepless nights. You got to change some diapers. It's not, you've done harder things in your life. I fucking promise.
You have. For sure. For sure.
All right. It's time to vote. We've got my advice. Stay positive. Look forward to it. Adam's advice.
You're laughing through your own advice, Andrew.
No, I'm laughing because I'm thinking of when I get to Ben's advice.
Okay, got it.
Adam, if you want to summarize your
I'd say
advice.
my advice was embrace this growth and this new side of yourself you're about to see. Because it's scary, but that's like cool to see what you're capable of.
And Ben's, before you say it in a terrible manner or some harsh manner, is weigh the options. You have more than just one option here.
Or chuck the fetus into the ocean because you would like to see Argentina before you die.
I didn't say that.
All right. It's time to vote. I guess I do commend Ben for thinking outside the box, so to speak. Procedurally outside the box, as they say. It seemed like they'd already crossed that step, Crispy and his partner. I inferred that
they very well may have. Yeah,
at no point did the letter infer that was maybe something that they were still thinking about. So I kind of had already thought they had crossed that bridge. Yeah. So with that in mind, I am casting my vote for Adam.
Okay.
Even though he tried to paint parenting as being that terrible because he's got two monsters at home.
It's because he has
It's really
two.
not that bad.
It's because he has two.
Yeah, which
you
don't even know about. Ron knows about it. But you
I admit that. Adam, I freely admit that I do not know.
Parents.
Yeah, I have no idea because I remember when Adam told me he was having the second one, I was like, what? Why?
And anybody who has three would think Ron and I are fucking fake and basic. So it's all. You get one more kid, you feel like you went up on everybody behind
and anyone
you.
who has 8 thinks you're all going to hell. So
totally, there is a line. You get to that line. All right,
Adam.
I also
time to vote.
Am not trying to make Ben feel bad. I did not pick up what he was picking up in that email, but what Ben says is important. So I'm not trying to just paint Ben into a corner. Right, you do have options. That said, I am voting for Andrew. I think that advice is better. And I will vote for Andrew because of that.
It sounds like he already won, but I'll cast my vote just because. And I want to say this. If you both have already made your decision, you guys are going to be great parents. There will be profound moments. It will be incredibly difficult. I think part of it too right now, like the age that my son is at, each milestone as they go, as you know so far, as Crispy knows so far with his kids being in middle school and high school, is they all come with their own moments of joy and of terror. And right now where my son is at, maybe the scariest for me and the hardest for me as a parent is because I have to let go. And there's a part of me that doesn't know that if I could go through a lot of those things again, have to deal with the emotional ups and downs, but they're beautiful. Like, and I'm going to vote for Adam on this one because I think that I like the reality that Adam said. It's going to be hard. It's not all great. It's not, but in that you find some really interesting and new parts of yourself with the newborn process and with that whole beginning process. And I think there's a lot of profound realizations. I look back, I don't remember, now that my son is out of the house, I don't remember being tired or sad. I just remember like sitting we had like one of those Canadian like rocker, the glider kind of types. And I just remember holding him.
Yeah, man.
And I remember talking to him. I remember
there's beautiful moments like that. I remember the first time we took a trip with Malcolm. We went to Santa Fe on an airplane. We're like, let's just do a quick airplane ride to Albuquerque, and then we'll drive there and we'll go do a vacation. And we're like, he wouldn't sleep the whole time, and it was just miserable. And one night he didn't sleep all fucking night. And at like 4 a.m, we're like, this is nuts. It's awful. And we got in the car. We're like, maybe he'll sleep in the car. We started driving, and he fell asleep after an hour. And we're like, we're driving until this tank is empty. And we just like went through a drive-through coffee and donuts, and we like wound up going up into a national park, and we just drove for like 3 hours. And I remember at one point I was like, this is parenting.
Yeah.
This is it. And it was like oddly beautiful. We were just like sleep deprived, but we're like, he's asleep. And we just drove all around New Mexico for fucking hours. And it's beautiful. That's a beautiful moment.
It is. It's, I remember that those trips, I took one with Milo flying back across country and overnight on a JetBlue, a red eye, thinking he would sleep, and he did not. He screamed the entire time.
Oh boy.
But there was one point where he was milk drunk, sitting on my lap, and he wouldn't go to sleep. And he looked up and he booped me on the nose in the middle of it. And it made me laugh so hard in the middle of all that chaos. And there were just, those are the things that I like think about now. So I want Chris to know that like my message is more just like for everybody. But just so you know, there are other options out there. I guess to make you realize you make this choice. You go into this, you make the choice.
Yeah. Pro-choice means both sides of the choice.
Of it.
Another thing I wanted to say, and I would never discount being a step parent. Being a good step parent is awesome, and it's awesome that Crispy has been raising these two kids. That's great. That's like its very own skill set, and you can love a step kid 110%. But for a time I lived with my partner. She had a son, and I was helping to raise him. And the love you have for someone else's kid, even if you love them entirely, is different than the love you will have for your own kid. The love, if you are comparing the idea of your kid to how you feel about those stepkids, it will not be the same. It will be a different feeling because it is your own.
It's kid. That intense of a love is part of the reason why I'm saying maybe you shouldn't. Because I have nightmares still, like about my son, like things that, there's just the worry doesn't fucking turn off ever,
Listen, Crispy, you're in for it. We hope this helped. I won. If anyone wants to go to Oasis with a winner, well, here's one. Here's one right here. And I'm a great
If you want to come see Bane and One King Down with two losers, come on over. We're going to the Elks Lodge in Poughkeepsie, New York this weekend. It's going to be amazing.
We're gonna pound General Tso's chicken beforehand, and then we're heading up to the fucking Elks Lodge.
I heard that Too Young is opening up the Oasis show.
It's a hologram because Too Young's dead, remember?
We're going to dig more into Oasis in Act 4 for Patreons after the show. But how about we take a little stand-up comedy break?
Great
here.
episode, and thank you, Chris. You're the man, and good luck to you both.
And if you're listening and you have an issue and you need 3 experts to fight tooth and nail over you, send us your letter. It could be about
Especially
anything.
if you're
we are
named Chris.
experts at everything. And if you're a Chris B, you're a shoe
If we
in.
get a third Chris B letter, we will change this from the official pod of Tyler's to the official pods of Chris B's.
Of Chris B's.
100%.
The Grolic Saves the Chris B's World will be the new legal title of this podcast. But we have a stand-up clip from our live show that goes down the last Saturday of every month at the Bug Theater. This clip is from one of our favorite comics. He used to be a Denver boy, but then has since moved to New York City. But he came back, and we love this guy. This is a clip from Jordan Dahl. Please enjoy. And we will be back with the third act, best third act in the podcasting game. So stick around.
We drove down here from New York. It was like a 4-day trip. And we listened the whole time to a book on tape about gerontology. For those of you who don't know, gerontology is the study of how to make a 4-day car trip feel eternal. And they pull it off. They do it. They do it really well. No, it's about dying. It's about growing old and dying. So it was a hoot of a car trip, an incredible 4 days. Just thinking about growing old and dying. And I got old. I grew old. I've grown old, Denver. It was never supposed to happen to me. I used to make fun of comedians who would be like, I'm getting old. You getting old? Like, yeah, now I am. Who's laughing now? Now I'm here. My shoulder went out. I hurt my shoulder opening a jar of pickles. Best in the game, I'm going to catch an injury at some point, you know? My doctor literally laughed in my face when I was like, I heard it opening pickles. She went, Do you eat a lot of pickles? Not enough that this is a repeated injury. But yeah, thinking about getting old, thinking about how I'm going to get old. Like I said, my shoulder went out. And because I hang out with comedians, the joke is like, oh, did you hurt it jerking off? Did you hurt it jerking off? Did you hurt your shoulder masturbating? Is that how you did it? And the best answer I've come up with is yes, but you should see the other guy. I need that back, actually. I'm worried about what it'll look like when I get old. Like, I saw my grandparents get old, and it was terrifying. She was so scared of, the Netflix TV. She was like, I don't understand it anymore. It's terrifying. And I'm imagining when I'm, 80 years old, and they just lock me into, a Google mech suit, and it's just stomping around town, just like, Google, where are we going? I want to rest. We're going for Mongolian barbecue. Oh, what? Call my son.
And we are back with Act 3, the best Act 3 in the podcasting game, or your money back. First up, big thank you. Thank you to our Patreon, Crispy, for the letter. We love listener letters. It's fun to interact with, and we, as experts, it's just nice to get to kind of unspool our experience on these things. So thank you for sending in.
I never get
letter.
tired of saving lives.
Well, I also don't get tired of, you guys have seen, I stroke my diploma, my high school diploma, a hard fought one. I had to go to school for 6 years for this one, and I stroke it while I'm giving the advice.
That's very
That's
cool.
what you call it now? You call it your diploma? That's weird.
Yeah. Daddy's diploma. Get ready to receive it. That's because I shake
Get ready to
people's hands
graduate.
when they're grabbing it.
Wow.
It's so gross. What a terrible riff we went on.
Did you notice I abstained? I was nowhere in there.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
It was just driving in the dark, and I turned off the headlights like on a dare, and I was like, oh, you call your dick the diploma? And I did not think
And guess
where
what?
that could possibly lead to.
The only
and-
place it ever leads. Deer carcass all over the highway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What a
I
mistake.
love that you riffed in absentia.
Yeah.
That's what you did in,
What a mistake.
in Rift City Council meeting.
But if you're
Adam
listening,
riffs in absentia. All
send
right.
us your letter. Whatever's
Yes.
going on with you, send us a letter. Let us take a stab at it, a competitive stab at it.
Yep.
And more of a shiv. Let us take a shiv at it, and maybe we'll solve your problem for you.
You've been talking a lot. I'm worried you're damaged your voice and you won't be able to get it
No,
out.
I'm always ready for it. Here we
All
go.
right.
Plugs.
Andrew, you continue. You keep going. What do you got?
I've got, boy, it's this week. I'm putting on a special edition of my storytelling show, The Narrators, this Thursday, September 5th. It's in conjunction with the Phoenix Recovery Project. They're a great organization. They've been putting on more and more entertainment, so I'm excited to partner up with them. It's a murderer's row of storytellers. The marquee storyteller, you may have heard him, is you, Ben Roy. Don't forget about this show, Ben. It's this Thursday. We've also got Amber Tozer, one of my favorite storytellers. We've got Janae Burris, so funny. We've even got producer Ron, who is a co-host on The Narrators.
I don't want to follow Ron's stories. Producer Ron's stories are always fucking ape shit nuts.
Mhm.
I hope he's got a sad one, and I will put him right before you in the lineup. Just a real downer. But that should be a great show. That's this Thursday night. It's totally free. You just need to register for your seats, and it's free with 48 hours of sobriety, which you should be able to pull off. I believe in you. Start today, I guess, as you're hearing this. We'll have that link in the show notes. Adam, what do you got?
Friday, September 13th, I'll be in Colorado Springs. What could
Spooky.
go wrong? What could go wrong? No, I don't perform in the Springs much because it saps my spirit. But I love Lulu's downtown, and I love Mark Benning, who's getting married, and I'm coming down there for their sort of like rehearsal dinner public show. It's going to be a blast. I love them, and I'm happy for them. And I'll be out in Colorado Springs, September 13th. And I'll probably never be in the Springs again. So if you want to see me and you live in Colorado Springs, this is the last opportunity. Friday, September 13th.
Wow, no pressure. No pressure.
And what are we doing? We're doing a live show, right?
Hold on. Yeah, I mean, this is normally the point in the podcast where we plug the live show at the Bug Theater. It takes place last Saturday of every month, except September. Huge, delightful curveball in the form of the High Plains Comedy Festival. It's coming, y'all. Get your tickets now. September 19th through 21st.
Love this time of
we will
year.
be doing a live show and a live podcast. The best way to see both, buy a festival pass. There are only a handful left for real. So if you're on the fence, get it now because they're going to sell out very soon. We would love Grolix fans to have those passes, which give you access to every show. But short of that, we will have the individual show. Short of that, we will have the individual shows up for sale very soon. So we'll see you on South Broadway for the High Plains Comedy Festival.
Yeah, get your tickets to all of that below. Just go on a spending spree. They're all in the show notes.
Go nuts. You've earned it.
I want to take a crack at the quick credits.
Are we going with a time to crack?
I'm gonna.
We're
I'm
over
gonna,
time.
I'm gonna sing them today.
Yes.
Ooh.
I want to thank our producer Ron Doyle, Mike Henderson, your help recording at a live show. It's invaluable. Oh my. The music is brought to you by the Jolly Continental. Jolly Continental. Kicking out the jams. You can follow us on social media. At Grolix Comedy. At Grolix Comedy. Support us and get them ad-free episodes and other perks on that Patreon. Patreon.com/Grolix Saves. The Grolix
It's if you get a chance to see one of Ben's musical projects, don't miss it. Don't miss it.
If anyone was listening to that while driving, like they at best case scenario, they missed the exit.
Yeah.
Most likely wrapped around a tree.
Yeah,
like
roll
what
over.
the fuck's happening?
I thought it was
Triple
cold,
rollover.
guys. I don't know what your problem is.
Jesus Christ. Just across genre. Wow.
That was truly, it was.
Yeah, I went to Juilliard Not Juilliard, Juilliard.
Juilliard. Juilliard is the pawn. Juilliard is the pawn shop. Juilliard
art. Yeah, and it was a just kind of a series of portable trailers in Rockland, Maine. Yeah.
Next episode, we are going to have more competitive advice for one of our teenage fans, which we always love to hear from our teenage fans.
A teenage fan?
The youngins.
We have to help the kids. We love to connect with the kids.
We will be back next Tuesday. In the meantime, Ben, can you keep the sort of rhythm of that song going?
Yeah, I'm in the vibe.
Sort of, yeah.
What you want me to say? You want me to close this episode out? Pay us out, Charlie.
It sounds like you're auditioning to be the new lead singer of Crazy Town, and I think.
Oh my god!
I think the position's available.